All right, you guys, moving on to bronzers. I feel like this one should be a little bit more quick than the blushes, but we will see. Okay, starting out with Patrick Ta Duo and She's Sculpted. So this is his contour, or his cream contour and bronzer duo. I also have the new color in She's Bronzed that's warmer. I love his cream and powder duos. They're just fantastic in my opinion. This is, I believe, the medium shade actually of his original colors, and it works fine for me. Okay, the Tower 28 Bronzino. This, I see people use this and it looks so good on them. But every time I use this, I feel like this doesn't look great on me. And I don't know why. It's almost a little bit too glowy and shimmery to me for bronzer. I don't know. I feel very undecided about this. Okay, that's gonna be a maybe. Ooh, okay, an easy keep is this one from Makeup Revolution. This is their cream bronzer in the shade Light. This is probably the best cream bronzer formula I've tried from the drugstore. It is thin, creamy, but super pigmented, like super pigmented, but it is such a beautiful shade. It's very neutral, not super warm or cool. This is a great drugstore product. Highly, highly recommend. It is very pigmented though, so you just have to kind of go in knowing that. Formula-wise, the when you stick your finger in it and you feel the formula, it feels like the skin enhancer from Makeup by Mario that we all love. This one is just more pigmented. So if you like that formula and you want more of a punch, you will love this. So that is a definite keep. The Victoria Beckham bronzer duo, absolutely a keep. I love this bronzer so much. So you get a lighter color and a darker color. One's a little bit warmer, one's a little bit cooler in here. Love these so much. Such a like luxurious feeling compact too. These do get a little bit of hard pan though. That's the only thing that kind of annoys me about them, but obviously you can easily remove hard pan, but just want to throw that out there. But this formula, if you're looking for just a great satiny finish powder bronzer, you get two colors, very beautiful, luxurious, like the kind of product you want to leave out on your counter. That is this. The Fenty cream bronzer in Biscuit. One of, if not still, my favorite cream bronzer in my collection. I would absolutely buy this again when I do run out of it. So that is it there. Perfect neutral color, just pigmented enough, not too much, not too little. Creamy. It has a little bit of like a sheen to it, but it's not too glowy and glittery or anything. It just gives you a little bit of that creamy look on your skin, but not too much. If you're around my skin tone and you need a good cream bronzer, this one in Biscuit, I guarantee you will love it. Let's go ahead and do these sticks back here. Okay, two of the Rare Beauty bronzer sticks. I have the shade Happy Soul and Bright Side. So Happy Soul was the original color that I had. It's very warm, but beautiful. And then Bright Side is one of the newer colors, much cooler in tone. So you can see Bright Side and Happy Soul. This formula, not like anything else. It is extremely creamy, very pigmented, but when it blends out, it's almost like the only way I can think to describe it is it feels velvety once you blend it out. The formula is so smooth and silky, but then it dries down to like a velvety finish. Beautiful. Love these. I think if you like a stick bronzer, highly recommend. I will definitely keep both. The Westman Atelier Face Trace sticks. I have a mini in Biscuit and the full size in Truffle. Another absolute favorite. I love it so much. So that is Biscuit. I love Biscuit. That's the one I fell in love with first. And it does come in the mini. And then Truffle. Truffle is also beautiful. It's just warmer. So Truffle and Biscuit. Love these. Beautiful packaging, beautiful formula, long lasting, easy to apply. Love them. Persona Stick Bronzer in the shade Dune. This is a great one. I definitely want to keep it. Very, very warm color. So I like it best in the summertime, but such a nice balmy cream formula. Super easy, not intimidating to apply at all. Blends well. Wish they would come out with this in a little bit of a cooler tone. I know they have, I think, 2 shades darker than this. One of them might be a little bit cooler, but I wish they would come out with a lighter shade in a cooler tone. I feel like that would be a good addition to their range, but it's a great formula. Definitely keep. I have 2 of the Makeup by Mario sculpting sticks. I have shade light and light medium. The same formula as the Soft Pop blush sticks. This formula is much thicker and just like a true cream. So you have light, medium, and light. Light medium is more cool. Light is a little bit warmer, but a great product if you're really wanting to add dimension to your face and you really want to sculpt your face. These are more for like actual sculpting, not just something to throw on like the skin enhancer, but another great formula. Definitely want both of those. The Merit bronzer in the shade Clay. This is one that I like it, but I don't love it. It's a nice formula. I don't know what it is about it that hasn't just like grabbed me, because the formula is very similar to the Flush Balm in the blushes. This is one though that when you apply this, you can kind of go a little bit heavy-handed with it because these really blend out, like almost blend away. So maybe that's why I don't always reach for this, but it's a good product. I don't know. It hasn't been one that's just like grabbed my heart. I also don't know that I've given it enough of a chance to do that. So I'm going to keep it, but it's very sheer formula. So if you're looking for that and you're afraid of like a cream bronzer, that's a good one to look into. It's very easy to use. The Flower Beauty Low Light Liquid Contour. Okay, this was just okay. Definitely not the easiest formula. Oh yeah, and mine actually came used, so I had to remove the little sponge on it. So this is a really thin formula. It's not bad at all. This one's gonna be a maybe. I'm not sure about that. Okay, the Shape Tape, or the Sculpt Tape, and the Charlotte Tilbury Contour Wand. I will be keeping both of these. I love the original contour wand from Charlotte Tilbury. I think this formula is so good. I have always thought this is one of the most blendable, beautiful formulas. I do find that this shade, even though this is technically a contour wand, the fair medium shade, I think leans on the warm side, but I have always liked this product. I would definitely keep that. This one is newer to me, but I also really liked this from Tarte. This is the Cool Bronze shade. So that is Cool Bronze, but very blendable. Okay, so there, I guess maybe you can tell Charlotte Tilbury is a little bit more red. Tarte is a little bit warmer, but they're both, I think, really good formula-wise. They're very easy to apply, easy to blend. Actually, this one and the Charlotte one, you can dot on your face and blend it pretty easily, even though I don't always do that, but you can do it with these formulas. So I will also be keeping that. The Milk Sculpt Stick and Toasted. Great formula. This is a true contour on me, so it's very, very gray toned, but it works. Like if I really want a true contour for my skin tone, this is it. This is a perfect color. I think these are great. From Milk, definitely will be keeping that one. The e.l.f. Halo Wands. So I kind of feel similarly about these that I do about the blushes. I did think the contours were a little bit better in terms of the blendability. And these colors are not bad. So I have light medium and fair light. I'm running out of room here. So light medium is super warm. Fair light is very, very fair. And very, very gray. So you can see huge difference between the two. I don't know. These were not bad. Much better than the blushes. I don't know. These are going to go in the maybes. Then we have the Milani liquid contour in the shade Honey. This to me is, okay, the packaging almost identical to the e.l.f. one. This one is just shorter, but of the two formulas, I do think I prefer the Milani, and actually the color on this one I think is a bit better as well. Let me actually swatch light medium in e.l.f. Okay, yeah. So e.l.f. is warmer. Milani is a little bit cooler, but not super cool. Milani's kind of a good mix of the two shades in the e.l.f. And this one actually is very easy to apply and blend. So I honestly might just keep this and get rid of the e.l.f. ones, because I do think I prefer the Milani. The LA Girl Pro Conceal in, what is this, Beautiful Bronze. I kept seeing people apply this as bronzer on, I think it was TikTok. I did not like this at all as bronzer. First of all, it's very, very dark. Not the easiest formula to blend on your face. I was not a fan of this at all. So that is definitely going to go. And then this one, the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade Cafe. So this is the one that Alex Earle made very popular. She used this concealer in that shade as bronzer. Kind of similar, in my opinion, to using that LA Girl. It's okay, but I prefer something like this that's actually made for bronzer on your skin. So I am going to go ahead and get rid of that as well. Okay, moving on over here. I have one of the Mob Beauty bronzers. This is shade M80. So this is the same formula as the blushes we talked about earlier. You have to kind of warm them up again. But I mean, it's a great formula. I'm so torn about this. This is going to go in the maybes also. I don't reach for this ever, but I kind of like that bronzer shade more than the blush shade, so I don't know. I may end up keeping that one. The e.l.f. Putty bronzers. So I have two of the Luminous ones and one of the original ones. My favorite is the original. This one, so this is the shade Honey Drip. This is a great one. It's just that classic e.l.f. putty formula, very easy to apply. I would say it's pretty sheer, not super pigmented, but it's great if you just want something natural, easy, quick for every day. And Honey Drip is a really great color. So I know I'm going to keep that one. Then I have two of the Luminous ones. The last time I tried to use, this is the fair shade. The last time I tried to use this one, even like warming it up on my hand, the formula, I don't know, it felt a little bit off, a little bit like chunky almost. I don't know, I wasn't a huge fan of that. So I think I might get rid of that one. And then I also have it in the light medium shade, Summer Fridays. Let me swatch. So this one actually feels better. The formula, at least. That Summer Fridays. I have a lot of stuff on my hand, I know, but I think I might keep Summer Fridays and get rid of that fair one, which is Vacay Mood. I don't know, something weird with the formula on this one. NARS Cream Bronzer in Laguna 01. This is a definite keep. It's a great color, very neutral, which I love. It's hard to find, easy to apply and blend. I mean, this one, great. I mean, look at the blend on that. It's creamy. It's wonderful. So that one is a definite keep. Okay, the Saie Sun Melt Bronzer. Okay, this one I like. I've never fallen like madly in love with this one, but it's nice. This one is a bit more of an oily consistency, not in a bad way. It's just not quite as matte as that NARS one. That color is beautiful though. I'm going to keep this. One thing I will say about this, I don't know if it's just mine or if they're all like this. I feel like the lid on mine, I don't know, the lid doesn't fit on here super well. Like I always feel like I can hear it kind of moving around on there. I don't know. I am going to keep this. I need to get this out and use this again. Yeah, kind of reminds me honestly of the like e.l.f. Putty formula. Okay, Charlotte Tilbury Cream Bronzer in shade Fair. Oh, this one is so good. Oh, I love this one so much. Again, another great color. This one is more of like a cream to powder consistency, but I mean, the blend is great. Great color. You get a ton of product in here. This is very expensive, but you do get a lot of product, and this is a great one. Definitely will keep. Oh my gosh. Then the Chanel. This was the original Chanel. Okay, look, mine is all like glazed over, you guys. It's old. So I have the deep shade as well in this, and that's the one that I'm using right now. Oh, this is old. I mean, the formula still feels okay. I know it's old, but honestly, I'm gonna keep it because this thing is expensive and I'm gonna keep it. That's it there. The light shade is definitely very, very warm. Like I said, right now I'm using the deep bronze shade, which is more of a red undertone. I love that for this time of year, but I have not tried the medium shade, so I don't know about that, but I've had this one for so long. But I'm keeping it. It doesn't smell weird. Formula seems fine, so I'm keeping it. Moving on to the powders. First one is Indefinite Keep. This is the Gucci bronzer in the shade number 1. This is something I've kind of recently fallen in love with. It took me a while to fall in love with the right shade. I had shade 2 and shade 3 originally, and they just were not the right shades for me. But this one, you guys, is so pretty. It's like it has a bit of like a rosy undertone to it, but oh my gosh, love the color on this. That one is a definite stay. Another definite keep, the Hourglass Bronzer in Nude Bronze Light. Love this formula from Hourglass. Such a beautiful, like, slightly luminous, but not too luminous. Very neutral color, Nude Bronze Light. Love this. That is a definite stay. Ooh, okay, Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer. This is shade medium. This is a great bronzer. The only thing that drives me nuts about it is, first of all, the pan moves, which I hate, but it also gets hard pan really bad. But I love the color. It's a great matte bronzer. I'm going to keep it because I like the formula. I wish it didn't get hard pan so bad, but keep. Ooh, a great one is L'Oreal True Match Lumi Bronzer in the shade Light. So pretty, very glowy looking, a little bit more cool toned bronzer, but I don't know if you can see it, but that's it right there. It has very just luminous finish to it, but the color is so pretty. This is a great drugstore product. That one is definitely staying. Okay, one that I think I'm gonna let go of is this Undone Beauty Warm Up Bronzer 4-in-1 Radiance Palette. So you get 2 like highlighter shades and then 2 bronze shades in here. This is pretty. It's definitely a pretty product. I just don't ever use this. I never reach for it. It's okay. Honestly, on there, if you use the highlights together or use the bronzers together, they're pretty like that. When you mix them all together, it kind of makes a highlight that's a little bit like on the dark side for me. But this is a nice formula, very affordable. I don't feel like I'm going to use this, so I am going to declutter that. Ooh, okay, love this, the Maybelline Fit Me powder as a bronzer in shade 320 Natural Tan. I've talked about this a bunch, but this is such a pretty bronzer color. It's a face powder, but this one performs really well as bronzer if you are near my skin tone. Right now I'm a little bit more tan than normal, so you can't see it as much, but when I am more fair, this shade as bronzer is perfection. So this I will definitely be keeping. The Dior Backstage Powder No Powder in 4 Neutral. Okay, this is beautiful as bronzer, which is what I bought it for. It does get hard pan though. But once you get rid of the hard pan, this shade 4 Neutral, so pretty as bronzer. Love this. Definitely want to keep it for sure. Don't know if you can still get that one or not, but if you can, it's a great powder in general, but I love using the darker shade as bronzer in that one. The NARS Laguna, and this is like the packaging. This is before they even changed the packaging. Like, this is old. This is the first high-end bronzer I ever used. Not this specific one, but this product is my first high-end powder bronzer I ever used. And I know now they've redone it and taken the talc out of it. I don't know about the new ones, but still, I mean, this is such a favorite. There's no way I can get rid of this. I have to keep this. I know it's old, but I don't care. It still swatches fine, so I'm keeping it. Such a classic. Okay, then I have this. So this is the MAC. This was a limited edition collection. This is the shade Beijing Beauty, and it's the Radiant Matte Bronzing Powder. I got this a while back at a cosmetics company store for, I don't even remember, but it was on a really good deal. And actually this bronzer the formula on this is so nice. I wonder how this compares to their new bronzer that just came out. I haven't tried that one yet, but the color on that is beautiful. Kind of like, I don't know, they described it correctly. It's like a luminous matte, but you can't get this anymore. I think I have to keep that. I don't think I can get rid of that one. It's too pretty. The Haus Labs bronzer in shade light number 3. This is very new. I love this. Definitely want to keep it. It's warm, but not too warm, and just such a pretty creamy to more of a powdery finish bronzer. I always struggle to describe this formula, but it's just very nice and very luxurious feeling. It's very creamy, but then on the skin it is like a true powder, but I don't know, it's kind of that same luminous matte finish like that MAC bronzer we were talking about a minute ago. Anyway, love it though. Definitely will be keeping. The new Pat McGrath bronzer in shade Nude Honey. Definitely want to keep this. This is a totally different kind of formula. This one is more finely milled, just a true matte bronzer, but I love the color on this one. Look at that. Such a pretty color. Oh, these are really good from Pat McGrath. Definitely will be keeping. Another keep, the Makeup by Mario bronzer in light medium. Very nice. Honestly, this formula, I would say, is a little similar to the Pat McGrath. It's a very thin, finely milled, kind of velvety, matte formula. Very nice. Definite keep. This is his Skin Perfector. So this is the powder that came out with the skin enhancers when they came out. So I think the idea was you were supposed to be able to use the skin enhancer and then apply this on top to kind of set it in place, since those skin enhancers are so creamy and just they move around a lot. So I don't use this a ton, but what I will say is how I have been using this when I do use it is as eyeshadow. It's very pretty as eyeshadow because it's a little bit bronze. You get a bronzer here, you get more of a golden highlight here, and then this is almost more of like a finishing powder up here. I like it. I don't use it often, but I do like it, so I am going to keep it. All right, my camera was dying, so I had to give it a break. We're almost done. Then we have this from Revlon. This is the Skin Lights bronzer in Sunlit Glow. I've had this for a few years. This is a nice bronzer. It's very, very glowy. So that's it there. It's more of like, I don't know, like a bronzier highlight. I used to use this all the time, but honestly, I've not used it in probably at least a year. So I'm thinking I'll go ahead and declutter that. If you like a really glowy bronze from the drugstore, that one is nice. Then we have classic Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is so hard. I mean, this is a great bronzer. I just, again, I do not reach for this, like, ever. Used to use it all the time, like in the beginning of my YouTube channel. I think it's time to let this one go. I really do. I mean, it's a good one, but of all the bronzers that I have, I feel like this one has just kind of run its course with me. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. This one I will be keeping, the Neutrogena Healthy Skin Bronzer. This is another really hidden drugstore gem. So you actually get 4 different tones in there that are really nice. This is a really nice formula too. It's very kind of silky, a little bit, I would say like a luminous matte finish. It's not glittery or super glowy, but it does give you just like the slightest bit of radiance. That's really pretty. So I am going to keep that one. This is the Ciate London bronzer. This is new to me actually. This is shade Palm Island. This is a great bronzer formula. Actually, it reminds me of the old Becca bronzer formula before Becca went out of business. That's what these remind me of. Let me show you. It's very, if you could feel it, the texture is so similar to the Becca bronzers. Very, very creamy and just easy. Easy to apply, easy to blend. These are very new to me, but I really like this. So that is a definite keep. Okay, then I have this little baby Tom Ford bronzer in Terra. Looks like this. I have not used this lately either. This is a nice bronzer. Definitely not, I don't think, worth the price tag that you pay for it. But it's a very nice, neutral, kind of leaning cooler bronzer. I'm going to keep it. We're going to keep it. It was expensive and I just can't get rid of it. I'm going to keep that. Then I have the Jane Iredale bronzers. These are also new. So they have a matte bronzer that looks like this. This is the light color. It's nice. The formula is kind of that Pat McGrath feeling formula. I'm like out of room on my hand and I have no more wipes left to even wipe anything off, but this is a really nice bronzer. These are new. I haven't had these for very long, but I do want to keep it. And then they also came out with these. I think they're calling these blushes. This one is more of a glowy bronze color, but they also made them in like peachier colors and pinkier colors. This is the bronzy one. On me, it's more of like a glowy bronzy highlight, but again, brand new to me. Those were sent to me in PR. Okay, this is a good one. The Sephora Collection bronzer. So this I bought during this recent Sephora sale, and I was pleasantly surprised by this. This is a really nice matte bronzer formula. It's not glittery, shimmery. It's just a very basic matte bronzer, but it's a nice creamy matte formula. I use the shade Mallorca. These are really nice. Definitely a good product from Sephora Collection. So that is a keep. L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Bronzer in light medium. This is another really nice one. All matte. This is a great drugstore bronzer. This one I also really like because the shade range is great. This one has a ton of shades, which is not the norm for the drugstore with bronzers. So L'Oreal was doing it right with this one. It's a great bronzer. I have no more capacity to swatch, but this is a good one. I will be keeping it. The Clinique bronzer in the shade Sunkissed. Okay, this is going to be a tough one. I remember when I bought this, I loved it. I'm totally out of room. But it has a lot of shimmer in it, which I don't remember noticing initially. The formula is nice, but I don't know, the color is not my absolute favorite. Yeah, that one's gonna go. The Milani Silky Matte Bronzer. You guys, look at this. This bronzer is so old. Again, the packaging doesn't look like this anymore. This is the shade 01 Sunlight. This is such a great matte bronzer from the drugstore. Honestly, kind of reminds me in formula of that L'Oreal Fresh Wear bronzer. The L'Oreal does come in more shades, which is nice, but this one is super old. I'm shocked I have not hit pan on this yet, but I love it. I'm keeping it, even though it's old. The Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow, another product I've had for years, but it's a classic. This is a classic Charlotte Tilbury product. You get a contour shade and a highlight shade, and these are still nice. They still perform well. I don't use it a ton, but this is classic Charlotte Tilbury, so that will be staying. And then one final thing hiding back here. This is the Essence Sun Club Bronzing Palette. Okay, I am so torn with this because this is a great palette. The quality on this, I think it's like $9.99. The quality, the formula on these is so good. The colors are not the best. They all lean like extremely warm. Really the only one that I can wear and not be super careful is this one. The other three are pretty deep. And this only comes in one color. So I wish they would release this in more shades. I wish the colors were better. If the colors were better, I would absolutely keep it. But the shades are just not great for my skin tone. So I'm going to declutter, and we made it, you guys. That was brutal. Brutal. Now let me grab the maybe products and we'll go through and decide about those. I'm thinking most of them are going to go because I feel like if they're a maybe, that probably is my answer. But let me grab them. Few bronzers that I said maybe to. These from e.l.f. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these. I just don't think out of everything that I have, I'm not going to use these. I just don't love them. I just don't love them. If I don't, I'm going to get rid of them. So those are going to go. The Flower Beauty contour, same with this one. I feel like this is very similar to the Milani contour, and I like the Milani formula and the color a bit better. So that one will go. The Bronzino from Tower 28, I'm still really torn about this one. I don't know what it is. I know it's because I see people using this and it looks so good on them, but then I use it and sometimes I don't like it. I'm going to hold on to this for now. This may make it into a YouTube video where I try out some of this stuff that I'm undecided about. Yeah, I think that might be what happens with this. So we'll keep that for now. And then last maybe for bronzer was this Mob Beauty one. I'm gonna let it go. There's nothing holding me or making me want to use this out of everything that I have. So I'm gonna get rid of it.